Alright, Trekkies and Trekkers, time for the penultimate episode review of the day, which is going to be Heart of Glory. The Enterprise enters the neutral zone to investigate the distress call of a Tellurian freighter. The freighter is badly damaged, and 3 life forms are detected aboard. An away team beams over and finds 3 Klingons, Chorus, Conmol, and Kunavas, who was wounded. The away team returns with them to the Enterprise before the freighter explodes. Kunavas is taken to sickbay, and Chorus meets with Captain Jean-Luc Picard. The Klingon explains that they were passengers when the freighter was attacked by a Ferengi ship. The Klingons took over the freighter to fend off and destroy the Ferengi ship, but the damage sustained left the freighter adrift and faltering. As Chorus and Conmol are shown to quarters, they are surprised to hear about a fellow Klingon, Lieutenant Worf, who was serving within Starfleet. Kunavas' condition worsens, and Chorus, Conmol, and Worf are present when he dies, and the 3 let out a fierce roar as per Klingon custom. As they return to the Klingons' quarters, Conmol is disappointed that Kunavas was not killed by an enemy, leading Worf to question the nature of the attack on the freighter. Chorus and Conmol quickly change the subject. Worf forces Chorus to reveal the truth. The 3 had commandeered the freighter in order to seek out a place they could live as true Klingons, and the damage to the freighter was a result of a battle with a Klingon ship. When the 2 were seen near the ship's battle bridge, hoping to steal the drive section and escape the crew on the saucer, they are placed in the brig. The Enterprise is zoomed by a Klingon battlecruiser, captained by Commander Canera, who demands the return of the fugitive Klingons. Knowing that Chorus and Conmol will be tried and executed if they are returned, Worf argues instead for their exile to a hostile planet, but Canera refuses. Chorus and Conmol use parts secreted on their uniforms to assemble a disruptor pistol and escape from the brig. Conmol is killed as Chorus takes over the engineering deck. Picard and Worf race to engineering, and Worf tries to reason with Chorus, who is threatening to destroy the warp core and take the Enterprise with him. Chorus attempts to persuade Worf to come with him and conquer the galaxy as a true Klingon, and then accuses Worf of being weak when he refuses. Worf fires on Chorus, killing him. Canera is told of the deaths of the fugitives, and Worf declares that they died well, when asked of their manner of death. Worf agrees to consider an offer to serve aboard the Klingon battlecruiser after his service aboard the Enterprise is complete, but when communications with Canera broken off, assures the bridge crew he was just being polite. Sure you were, Worf. Anyway, let's look at some production notes here. Writer and executive producer Maurice Hurley thought that Heart of Glory was the closest experience he had on the show to directly place his own personal philosophy into a script. He later credited fellow executive producer Rick Berman with helping write the script for Heart of Glory, saying, quote, "When I had a problem, I could go in and we could sit there, close the door, yell and scream. I'd pace, he'd make suggestions. The 2 of us made stories work in that room that had to be shot within a couple of days. We were under enormous pressure, and we were working hand in glove. We had a wonderful time on that show, especially." Hurley wrote the screenplay in 2 days from a story created by Herbert Wright and D.C. Fontana. Because of the delays, the Klingon language portions of the script didn't make any actual sense in translation, and were simply Klingon-sounding words created by Hurley. The story of Lieutenant Worf's background for the first time in the series, including the story of Romulan betrayal at Kittimer, which saw the death of his parents. While his foster parents were first mentioned in this episode, they were not seen until the 4th season episode Family, and his stepbrother didn't appear on the show until the 7th season episode Homeward. Michael Dorn was pleased with the outcome of this episode, as he felt it showed the producers that the fans were just as interested in his character as the others in the main cast. He felt that it could have been taken further, and wanted there to be an epic battle at the end of the episode. The battlecruiser scene in Heart of Glory was footage reused from Star Trek the Motion Picture, while the freighter was a general model which would come to be reused throughout The Next Generation and other Star Trek television series. Director Rob Bowman made bold decisions in designing the confrontation sequence. The scripted version showed the fight between Worf and Chorus taking place entirely on the first deck of the engineering section. Instead, Bowman had the fight on the upper deck and, using camera angles never seen before on the show, filmed vertical sequences in that part of the set. He also altered the script so that Conmol needed to be hit by 3 phaser blasts. Bowman used a Steadicam to film the scenes on the freighter in order to give a rough effect to the footage. He was pleased with the outcome, describing it as the easiest of all the Next Generation episodes he directed. He said it was a show where, quote, every hand we had was a 21. It just worked. Guest stars in this episode included Robert Bauer as Kunivas, who had previously been in a band with Michael Dorn. Stuntman Dennis Madelon made a second appearance in The Next Generation with this episode, having previously appeared earlier in the season in Where No One Has Gone Before. He would continue to appear as various crewmen for the rest of the series. Heart of Glory was the only appearance in The Next Generation for actor Vaughn Armstrong. He would, however, go on to play a further 11 different roles in the Star Trek franchise, including as the recurring character of Admiral Maxwell Forrest in Star Trek Enterprise. Nice. So overall, this is a pretty interesting episode, and hey, I do love me a good Klingon story. So, overall, I give Heart of Glory 5 warp cores out of 5. Well, join me soon for the final episode review of the day, The Arsenal of Freedom. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.